The jury picked a few alternates still needed in a trial likely to get national attention right out of Oneida County. 3 former Marcy prison correction officers on trial for the murder of inmate Robert Brooks late last year. Body camera footage from several guards capturing the beating of Brooks. Several people charged in this case have taken plea deals.
It is a unique trial, and to break down jury selection and the case, we welcome a former federal prosecutor, Rick Trumpio, who was Onondaga County's first chief assistant DA for Bill Fitzpatrick, who is the special prosecutor in this case.
Yeah, and now he's a SU adjunct professor. Rick, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We love the analysis. 12 jurors already picked in a small community. The prison's a major employer. Are you surprised at how quickly they were able to pick 12 seated already in this case?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think anybody looking at the case, particularly in a jurisdiction where you have 2 prisons, I do think that getting 13, so they'll probably pick another couple of alternates. I think they plan the trial to go about 2 weeks, maybe less. I do think that both sides have an ideal juror in their mind, and they got their 12, so it's going to be an interesting ride right now.
Yeah, Rick, I'm actually curious what kind of challenge there is. I'm sure you've had it. I've never actually seen it, where you have 3 defendants. So you're picking 1 jury for 3 defendants, 1 case. That seems complicated, but maybe not.
No, it is, and that's why I think so. I think your instinct was right that we all expected the jury to take longer, because you have not just the prosecutor, but you also have 3 attorneys, not 1, and all 4 attorneys, the prosecutor and the 3 defense attorneys, have to agree to every juror. So they're moving quickly, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think Bill Fitzpatrick is he knows what he's doing. He's probably one of the best trial attorneys in New York State, and he's got 3 attorneys on the other side that are defending who are otherwise, they were law enforcement officers, right? So their lives are at stake. So it's I don't think you overstated it earlier in your introduction when you said this is a very significant case that's going to get national attention.
It is getting national attention. And I'm still curious about jury selection. So who's the ideal juror for defense? Who's the ideal juror for prosecution?
Great question. Trial lawyers, that's what we look at every single trial. Every trial is our ideal juror. Our juror profile is different, and for the defense, I would say they're looking. So Oneida County is a more politically conservative county. Like you said, they have 2 prisons. I do think that they're looking for people that will be sympathetic to the fact that working in a state prison is a very dangerous place. You're dealing with really bad guys, very violent guys. So I think that the defense is looking for jurors that will understand the environment that the defendants have been working in. With regard to the prosecution, I think DA Fitzpatrick will be looking for people with common sense who will look at that video. And I think that's that's really difficult to overcome, is what happened on that video. And, you know, I think even conservative-minded jurors are going to look at that and they're going to say, whoa, we don't care that they're law enforcement. We don't care that the victim might have been a bad guy. What happened here was wrong.
Wow. But you think, so that's kind of the defense side, but you think Bill Fitzpatrick, I mean, has a strong enough case to overcome, because all it is, we know, you just need that tiniest bit of shadow of a doubt in a juror's mind.
So I do think, you know, the murder, people have asked me already, like, why murder? Did they intend to kill him? And murder in New York, there's 3 theories. You can do it intentionally, which is what everybody thinks murder is. And then you could do it during the course of a felony. You don't have to have any intent. The middle one, the depraved indifference theory, which this is under, it just requires a reckless intent, a reckless mens rea, but that you had such wanton or utter disregard for human life in your conduct, in your actions. And in this case, the beating was so brutal and savage. And usually the law wants the victim to be vulnerable. And I think that in this case, the reason why I think D.A. Fitzpatrick has a good case is in this case, the defendants were beating on a guy that was handcuffed, and they put leg restraints on him, so he was in a completely vulnerable position, and then they just wailed on him, and that's on video. That's going to be hard for the defense to overcome.
Yeah. So what is the defense strategy? Because of course the burden is on the prosecution to prove the case. Defense doesn't have to prove anything. But what's the strategy? If
I'm the defense, I'm looking to negate that intent element. And if you negate the intent element, then you get rid of the manslaughter in the first degree. Manslaughter in the first degree requires intent to commit serious physical injury causing death. We already talked about depraved indifference. It's such an utter disregard for human life that your conduct causes death. And if I'm the defense, I'm probably looking for a manslaughter second, which is reckless behavior which causes death. And so that's going to be the key for the defense, is trying to get the jury to believe that neither of the defendants had any intent either to commit serious physical injury or to have that depraved mindset.
Intent.
I'm curious, Ray. They said I only have time for one more question. Is it an all or nothing? Yeah, I know. Is it an all or nothing, or could each defendant see different verdicts?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Complicated.
That's a great question. So their conduct is really something that is going to be isolated, and the judge is going to really reiterate that. Judge Bauer's a great judge. He was in Oneida County as an assistant district attorney. We had him here for 6 months as a judge. He is no nonsense. So the case will move quickly. When I found out that there were 13 jurors picked, part of that's probably due to him moving this case along. He's no nonsense, and but he'll be fair to both sides. I promise you that.
We will be watching closely, and Rick's going to be with us throughout the trial with his analysis. We really appreciate you helping us understand and giving some great insight. Fascinating.
Thank you.